You didn't know there's a place where Kentucky football and basketball fans unite. Welcome to Big Blue Breakdown. Whether you bleed blue or just love a good game, we've got the latest stories, hottest takes, and a whole lot of hometown pride. Hit play and join the conversation. This is your home for all things Kentucky sports.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 63 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on the podcast. If you guys haven't already, follow us on social media at TikTok, X, Instagram. Guys, you're missing out on extra content if you don't do that. I believe the @ on every single one of those is Big Blue _ Breakdown, so follow us there. And then help us out on the YouTube here as well, and on Spotify. So follow us on Spotify, comment there, anything like that. And then here on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get every single video. You get a notification for it, and because it really, really helps the channel out. So on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the biggest game that Kentucky isn't playing in this week. And I'm going to, obviously, I'm guessing you guys are already seeing the thumbnail. This Missouri-South Carolina game is going to be the biggest game this week that Kentucky isn't playing this week. It's their bye week. This is the biggest game for Kentucky fans to watch. Kentucky plays South Carolina up next. They just lost to Vanderbilt, and they're going into a very, very tough place to play at Missouri with a team that is very, very good right now. Bo Pribula playing out of his mind. Ahmad Hardy playing out of his mind. This team is rolling, and this is really their major first test. Let's see how this game plays out. This is the game to watch for Kentucky fans this week, and then I'm going to give you some of my percentages on the rest of Kentucky's schedule. We will be right back here on episode 63 of the Big Blue Breakdown. We're going to give a word over to our sponsor at W Energy. Make sure to use code BIGBLUE10 to get 10% off. This won't be a very, very long episode, guys, so just stick with me through it. It probably won't be longer than 20 minutes. But thank you guys so much for tuning in here, and we'll be right back here on the Big Blue Breakdown. Hello, everybody. We wanted to take a break in this episode to tell you about our friends over at W Energy. W is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like any other energy drink. Some facts about W. Number one, it's zero sugar, artificial colors, or dyes, or hidden ingredients. It is also gluten-free. Number two, all flavors are unique and custom made by W. You'll never taste anything like a W drink. Number three, the drinks are $1 less, guys. That is cheaper than Starbucks or any canned drink. Lastly, it is made in the U.S. It is close to home. Guys, if you guys are looking forward to going to a Kentucky football game or Kentucky basketball game and you need some energy, get W. W is the perfect thing for you working out and you need some energy. You need W. You need W throughout the day. It is for you. Use promo code BIGBLUE10 to get 10% off every single order. Guys, it not only just helps you guys be able to have a clean energy drink that you can use all the time with the tubs that they give you. It helps me and it helps the channel keep growing with you guys. If you guys do that, it helps us post more content and helps them, guys. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. But thank you guys so much for your time here. Please go check out W. Check out their website. And when you are about to purchase something, use promo code BIGBLUE10 to get 10% off your order. Welcome back in, everybody, to the Big Blue Breakdown episode number 63 here. Let's go ahead and jump right into game here. Okay. 11.5-point favorites is the Missouri Tigers. They are 3-0. And South Carolina is 2-1 with a pretty bad loss to Vanderbilt last week. They lost 31-7. Now they go on the road to Missouri. Now some events that happened in that Vanderbilt game. Man. Lenore Sellers takes a major hit, ends up being a targeting call on the Vanderbilt player. Now, it didn't look like he was meaning to do it. It didn't look malicious or anything like that, but it was a targeting call on the Vanderbilt player. And now, per the injury report from the SEC, he is questionable for this game. I believe they are leaning to him playing, and that's going to be a very, very big part of this game. And if he ends up playing, that's going to be very, very interesting to see. Because if he plays in this game, he's most likely going to play in the Kentucky game. Fingers crossed that he doesn't get hurt in the Missouri game. This is a big game for us to watch. Now, Kentucky fans, I want you to listen here. This is what you need to watch out for in this South Carolina versus Missouri matchup. Number one here, we have to watch the offensive line play from South Carolina. That is the biggest thing to watch. They have played very, very poorly on the offensive line this year in protecting Lenore Sellers, and that's a big reason why he got hit in the game against Vanderbilt. They have not played well at all on the offensive line this year. They have not been able to run the ball very well. They have the overall playmakers to do stuff, but Mike Shula, the offense coordinator for South Carolina, hasn't scored over 17 points in a game as he has been the offense coordinator for South Carolina. So this game right here, very, very big for Kentucky fans to watch, because if they have major struggles against this Missouri defensive line, which is very, very good, that's going to be a positive sign for the Cats. You want to see them not play well. I mean, obviously, you want to make it easier. I don't want to say that, but the dead serious here. Like, the offensive line play has been horrific, and if they score 17 points or less, they're not going to win this football game. And then we have to feel really, really confident about our defense heading into that game. Now, I know South Carolina at night under the lights, Shane Beamer is your head coach. They're going to get up for that game, and he's had Mark Stoops' number for the past couple of years now, and so it's going to be very, very interesting to see just how that game will play out, even if they come off a loss here. So look, the big picture is, do they come off a loss? And what do we see in that loss against Missouri? If the offensive line can't protect, I don't think it's going to matter who is playing the quarterback position, whether that be Lenore Sellers or Luke Doty. I think Lenore is going to play against us. If we're able to get constant pressure on him, like Vanderbilt was able to do before he went out, it's going to be a tough ride, even with him in there. Now, he's going to make some spectacular plays, but consistent pressure on him is going to cause him to make plays downfield, and I don't think this Mike Shula offense, with him running it, is going to be that good. Again, they haven't scored over 17 points. He scored 17 offensive points against South Carolina State. That is absolutely horrific. I just don't like what I've seen from them, and special teams is not going to win them the two games here. Defensively, they're okay. They're good on the edge. Specifically, obviously, Dylan Stewart. They're good on the edge. They're not great on the interior defensive line. I think the Cats will be able to run. So, like, the biggest things to look at here, can they protect Lenore Sellers, or can they protect whoever's playing quarterback, right? Number two, can Missouri run on them? Now, Kentucky and Missouri are probably the top two rushing offenses in the SEC. If you just were to take a running game for running game, I would put them two near the very top. So we're kind of similar in that aspect. They obviously have Ahmad Hardy. We have Seth McGowan. I think Ahmad Hardy would get the edge right now over Seth McGowan, but Seth McGowan leads the SEC in rushing touchdowns, So very, very similar in that aspect right there. So number one, can this offensive line protect whoever's playing quarterback for South Carolina? And then number two, how effectively does Missouri run on South Carolina's defensive line? If they're able to run efficiently and effectively, getting 5-6 yards a pop, that's going to be a very, very good sign for the Cats. And then lastly, just what's going to be the score of this game? Simply, is this another dominant performance over a South Carolina team, or is it a close game? Because I believe Missouri is a very, very good team. They are a sneaky playoff team. That is how good they are. So in my mind, I see them as those expectations right now, and that really that positive and that moving forward. So that's where I kind of have them in my mind right now, sitting at 3-0 with a nice win over Kansas, and this offense looking very, very good. If they come out here and it's 11.5 point favorite right now for Missouri. If they come out here and they, dominate this game, you have to feel so much better about that game in Columbia, South Carolina. Obviously, anything can happen down there, but your hopes and your expectations rise in that game. So this is the game to watch out, Kentucky fans. This is the biggest game that Kentucky is not playing in this week. 11.5 point favorites, the Missouri Tigers at home against the Gamecocks from South Carolina. Biggest game to watch out here. 3 things to really, really look at. South Carolina, can they protect the quarterback? Number 2. Well, I put 3 in there, and I said does they blow out or anything? Let's throw something else. Let's throw 3 in here. Let's kind of delete that part. I don't want to say delete that part, but obviously that's the overall arching look at it is how much do they lose by, and how does it look? But the 3 things to specifically look at here: can they protect who's playing quarterback? How efficient does Missouri run the ball on this South Carolina defensive line? And lastly, how does Norris look, and is he healthy? Those are the 3 things to look at. And the overall arching picture is, does South Carolina take another blowout? And then if they do, and those spots do not look good for South Carolina and favor Kentucky, you got to be very, very confident heading into that matchup. Now, over on to my Kentucky percent chances moving forward. Now, I showed this in the live yesterday. I wasn't able to present it to the extent that I really wanted to, but South Carolina have this game at a 50% game right now. If South Carolina were to lose their game against the Missouri Tigers more than 15 points, let's say 15. Let's say they lose to them 2 touchdowns or more. This game possibly goes up to a 55% chance here. This game is going to be a very, very close game because, at least to me, for Kentucky, it's a night game there, and they always get up for that. And they have a really, really good record at night in Columbia. But if you're not looking at that, right, and you're simply looking at these 2 teams coming into this game, the spread is really going to show a lot on, how these 2 teams really match up here. This Vegas doesn't miss a lot, guys. Vegas does not miss a lot. They are usually pretty spot on. Now, they've been completely wrong on some things, but they're in the general right area when it comes to point spreads, right? I'm very interested to see how this game looks in that aspect if South Carolina were to lose. Obviously, if they win, it looks a lot harder now to win this game at South Carolina and Columbia. Now, if they were to lose this game, and again, those 3 things don't look great for South Carolina, you have to be thinking to yourself, man, this game looks very, very winnable for the Cats now. And this is such a big game for us to win because that sets us in a really, really good spot. And then you have a very, very winnable game against Florida at home, Tennessee Tech, obviously. So you're looking at, if you were to win this South Carolina game, you got 2 or 3 very, very winnable games right there, and that sets you up for a bowl game. So, for Kentucky fans, this game here, again, South Carolina at Missouri, make sure to watch it. These will answer a lot of your questions going into the Kentucky game and how you should feel. And as of right now, not with this game being played, not with the Lenore Sellers talk, I have it at a 50% game, 50-50 game. If they lose, and they lose by double digits, and there's some big, big questions for this team, to me, this has to go up, and I'm very interested to see the point spread because I believe I'm gonna agree with probably 90% of what that usually is what that like. I'm gonna agree with 90% of that. So it'd be very, very interesting to see what that is, and if like it's a pick'em game. So it'd be very, very interesting to see. But that is going to do it for us here on the Big Blue Breakdown, episode 63. Here, this is the biggest game that Kentucky is not playing in. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 63 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. Go check us out on social media. Help us out here on the YouTube channel. And as always, go Cats.